Hi, my name is Jessie Zahorian, and I am the dual enrollment contact for the Annandale campus of Northern Virginia Community College. And today I'm going to show you how to look for open classes so that you can see what's available, look at the days, the times, the instructors, and the different types of classes that NOVA has offered. Now, if you haven't applied to NOVA already, you're going to want to pause the video and do that now. If you've already applied to NOVA, then you already have a student ID number, a username, and a password. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that username and password to log into your MyNOVA account, which will give you access to see what classes are still available. So you're going to click on MyNOVA, and then you're going to click on MyNOVA again, which is going to take you to a page that looks like this. Now, if this is your first time logging in, you're going to have to set some security questions, and you're also going to have to set a permanent password. If you've already done that, you can go ahead and sign in. If you haven't, then you'll pause the video while you get that straightened out. So I'm going to assume you've already done that, and so we're going to click sign in. So you're not going to get all of these options, but you're going to have a couple of them. So Blackboard you will use eventually when you're a student. You're going to need to set up your email when you start taking classes, but for today, we're going to click on the Student Information System. Then you're going to click on Student Center. And then you're going to go to the third one down that says Enroll. So you may or may not get this option to select multiple campuses, multiple sessions. So right now summer and fall registration is going on as I make this video, which is why it's giving me an option to select a semester. If it doesn't give you an option, don't worry about it. So I was looking at classes earlier, so I'm just going to trash that. So your enrollment cart is going to be empty if this is your first time logging in. So I'm going to search, and here you're going to put the subject. If you're looking for an English class, you would type in ENG. If you're looking for a math class, you would type in MTH. If you're looking for a biology class, BIO. So for today, we're going to search for an economics class, and we're going to search for Economics 201, just as an example. Now here you can select the campus. You can mix and match campuses. I think it's easier to keep everything to one campus, but you could go between multiple campuses if you'd like. So I'm going to select the Annandale campus because that's where I work, and then I'm going to hit the search button here at the bottom. So this gives you all of the different options for Economics 201. You can see at the top, it's telling you what the title of the class is. Now, if we didn't type in 201 and we just typed in economics, it would give us all of the different economics courses, micro, macro, consumer, all the different types of economics classes. And at the top of each section, you would see the title of the economics class. But I knew which one I wanted, so that's why I typed in Economics 201. Now, if you look here, it says regular. That means a regular academic session. So that's the full academic session. So if you look at the dates, that says August 21st until December 17th. Now if you keep scrolling down, you'll notice that some of them say something else, like 14-week, first 8-week, or second 8-week. So this refers to the meeting date. So if it's a 14-week, the meeting dates are going to be different. So for a 14-week, I can see, so that's what, September 5th until December 17th. And you can see the 8-week one here. This starts August 21st, and this ends October 15th, and then the second 8-week one starts a little bit differently. That starts October 18th, and it ends December 17th. So these shorter classes usually have longer meeting times, or sometimes they're hybrid classes, which means they're partially online and half in campus. So you're still getting the same amount of content, you're just getting it in a shorter amount of time, so the class is going to go at a much faster pace. If this is your first semester with us, I usually just recommend taking something that's a regular academic session, 16 weeks, because that gives you the most amount of time. So you can see here, this is a Monday-Wednesday class. It meets from 8 a.m. to 9:15. You can see the building, it's the CN building, and the room number is 114. We see the instructor here, and then you see the meeting dates. So let's say I like this class. I'm going to select it. You want to look here to see if there's any Class notes, sometimes there might be something special about the class. Maybe there's a field trip, something like that. Maybe it's a hybrid, meaning it's half on campus and half online. So something like that, you might see some notes here. So be sure to look at the screen. So it looks like there's nothing special about this class, so we're just going to select next. Okay, so now this is in our shopping cart. So you can't register for the class online because you're a dual enrollment student, but you can put it in your shopping cart. So you could do another search and add another class if you wanted to, and then put it in your shopping cart so you could kind of see what your class schedule might look like. So what you're writing on that dual enrollment form would be Economics 201. You would write down the section number, which is 001N, and then you would write down the class number or the registration number, which in this case is 23093. Now you see this green circle? That means that the class is still available. If it had a blue square, that would mean that it's closed. But we're only searched for open classes, so we're only going to get classes with the green circle. So when you come to campus, you'll have to come to campus to complete your registration. So you'll need to bring the dual enrollment paperwork if you're a high school student that is signed by your high school and your parent. If you're a homeschooled student, that dual enrollment paperwork is signed by you and your parent. We would also need to see a high school transcript. We would need to see whatever you're using to prove English or math proficiency. Usually that's SAT or ACT scores. There's a list of acceptable pieces on the dual enrollment form. There are some cases where a student might have to take the placement test, but in most cases they can use something like an SAT or ACT score. If you're not sure, you can always contact your dual enrollment contact, or when you come into campus, we would be able to tell pretty quickly if you needed anything other than the SAT or ACT scores. Or if the scores aren't high enough, of course, then you would need to take our placement test. But again, there's a list of acceptable things that you can provide on the form. And then if you're a homeschooled student, we also need to see the letter from the county. So you would bring all that information in, and then you would write down the information for the different classes that you wanted to take before you came in. And that would make your trip to campus relatively quickly. I hope you enjoyed this video.